Hey guys, Nick here. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful hex tile design with custom hex type, beautiful background, and decoration. Looking at this, you might think that it took a very long time to finish this entire piece. Well, in fact, you could create something as beautiful and detailed as this in minutes. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So, a tile artwork like this is composed of a base layer, which is the hex tile pattern, and then it has the similar effects of the previous tiles that I showed you. You have the highlights, the shadow, the random shade brushes, as well as a texture. But the difference is we're going to use our hex tile brush set to design the background easily, as well as add decorations easily. And then I'm going to show you my technique on how to create letters like this without having to color drop each tile, which could take forever. Let's now open our brush library and then click on the NN hex tiles. So here it is similar to the square tiles brush set, which has your solid tile brush, your grid brush, highlights, shadows, random shade brushes, which you could all learn more about in our first video. But for this video, I'm going to focus on the different designs and decorations in this brush set. Now I'm going to show you how you could recreate this piece, and I invite you to follow along. As always, we're going to start with our base layer. So let's just use teal. We're going to use the hex tile. So zooming it out to make the coloring faster, but make sure that your canvas is not rotated. Otherwise, the brushes won't fit well with each other. Done. Then we're going to add 2 layers with clipping mask on for our highlights and shadows. So let's pick white, switch to highlight brushes on the first layer. Then we're going to fill everything. Make sure you don't miss a spot. When we're done, we switch to the color black and to the shadows brush on the second layer, and then fill the entire canvas again. And there. Not sure if you could see, it now has like a highlight and shadow. Let me just hide those layers so that you'll see from a flat tile you have a 3D effect now by using those 2 brushes. So next is we're going to add a random shade brush, so adding another layer just above the base layer. So for this hex tile, we have several options to choose from. Let's pick the second one with black as your main color, and then we're going to color the entire canvas just like what we did earlier. So now you can see that you have random colors all over the pattern. Let's just change the blending mode so that it's not too harsh, and maybe lower down the opacity a little bit, like that. Before we start adding decorations, let's just add the texture so that we'll be able to focus on how to use the decorative brushes of this brush set. So we're going to add a new layer on top of it. On textures, let's just use the same one, dry and polished, and fill the entire piece just like that. And then change the blending mode and bring it down a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how you could color these tiles with your letters. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay. First, we're going to add a new layer where we're going to put our lettering design. Normally, what we're going to do is we're going to recolor each tile by color dropping it to our base layer. However, if you do that, you won't be able to move it around anymore. So as much as possible, we want to create our designs on a new layer so that it's going to be easier for us to change the colors afterwards or move it around, reposition it to the right place. So on your new layer, we're going to reference our base layer. It is very important that you don't forget this step so that we could easily color the cells like that. Because if you don't have reference turned on, when we're going to recolor, it's going to color the entire canvas. We don't want that. So let's clear this again. Let's turn reference back on right here before we forget. So this is the first option. You could color drop your color on the tiles to form your letter. So I'm going to share with you another step which is going to cost you less time to do. So let's just clear this. Okay. What I use is I use selection on automatic and color fill turned on. So what we're going to do is, instead of dropping it, we're going to tap and change the threshold all the way up, like that. And after that, we're just going to tap the tiles that we want to be colored. This is so much easier than doing the color drop. Okay, so let me just erase this and draw our lettering design. So for this exercise, we are going to create the word hello. So let's just zoom in. And then using selection on automatic with color fill turned on, let's draw our letter H. Just tap the layers, or I mean just tap the tiles that you want to color. That's our letter H. And you just make this longer by adding one more cell like that. Okay. Next is we're going to add our next letter, which is the letter E. So you could refer to the alphabet guide included with this set. So I'm just going to tap like this. There's one letter E. Third letter is the letter L. So if you follow the guide, you're going to create something like this. And the next L is going to be right here. And then for our last letter is the letter O. Selection. Easy as that, we now have our letter. So let's just say you made a mistake. So what you could do is just use your eraser and erase the tiles you want to remove. But it's okay to have tiles like this because you could always retouch it. So just open up selection again and then just tap the tiles that you want to color. So normally I create my lettering on one side and then I just adjust it later by moving it. Make sure you have snapping turned on so that you'll see where the center is. And after this, if it doesn't match the tiles, just move it again to the nearest tile, which is here. So now my lettering is centered. So there are so many ways on how you could decorate this. One way is to add borders. So let's just open a new layer, and on our hex tile brush set, you have several borders to choose from. You have a pair of brushes for each design. You have vertical and horizontal. We'll be using border number 2, the vertical one, and then we're going to just brush it in. Easy, you don't have to tap it one at a time anymore with this. Next is we're going to add the horizontal design on a new layer. So you could just add one first, like this. And then, if it doesn't fit the position, you could simply just move it down to the position that you want. Like that. And then if you want to brush it, you can just duplicate it and move it up to the point that you want. When you're done, you can merge these layers and then just erase the excess tiles. And if you erase parts of the tiles that you want to keep, it's okay, because we are going to easily recreate those later. Okay. When we're done erasing, go to selection again and then just tap the tiles that you want to recolor or recreate. Easy as that. Then if you want to move it to the center, just use transform and then move it to the center. If it doesn't match, just zoom it in and just move it to the tile, like that. Easy, right? And then you could add colors if you want to decorate this a little bit more. But for this design, we're not going to use the border design. We're going to create a background effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new layer just below our lettering. And then we're going to choose a darker shade of teal. And then we're going to select thick zigzag 1. So what this does is it allows us to add a zigzag design easily to our canvas like that. No more coloring one tile at a time, which is gonna take forever. Next is we're gonna choose our second color and zigzag 2 and add the color in. Just like that. Easy, right? Now let's finish this piece with some decorations around the lettering. So let us select which decoration that we want. Let's use the fourth one, decoration number 4, and use color black or dark gray. And then we're going to brush in our design. Right now it's not that clearly visible, so what you could do is you could hide this background layer and open up a new layer and add the flower decorations or designs there. Let's erase the ones that we don't need. And then since these are touching our letters, let's just move it up a bit. Make sure it fits perfectly on the tile when you move it. And then I kind of want to add some white dots in the middle. So I'm going to choose the color white. Using selection, just tap the cells. Done. And then let's bring our background back up. So easy to create something like this, right? With the help of these brushes. So let's just do a quick recap. We started with our base layer with the hex tile design or hex tile pattern, and then we added our highlights, shadows, random shades, and texture. Like that. Next, we added our lettering design, we moved it to the center, and after that, we added our zigzag background and added some leaf design or decoration like this. So here is my artwork. I want you to try this technique, but choose a different word. You could always refer to the alphabet guide that comes with this brush pack to help you create the letters nicely and correctly. If you have any questions about this brush pack, let me know in the comments. I'm going to check all of them and answer all of your questions. And if you want to get this brush pack, the link will be in the description for my website. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you could combine the different tile patterns to form a beautiful tile art composition. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.